right, y'all. I told y'all I was coming right back. Here I am. Okay, Greenleaf episode 4. Let's get into it. All right, boom. So right off the bat, Charity and Grace are having a conversation, and Grace asked Charity, "Will you please help us? We're trying to get information and dig dirt up on Bob Whitmore, so we need your help. Please give us information." Obviously, Charity was a little hesitant because she's, going off and mouthing off to Grace, talking about, "I'm finally AP, and, they gave me something that Daddy could never give me," and all this other stuff. So, she got to go through her little spiel. But eventually, she does give up some information about Phil's father. And so, Phil's father knows some information about, you know, Loretta Davis, I think it is. But he knows some information, and so she intends to call him, and later on in the episode, she does. But before we can even get to that, we got to get to Lady Mae and Carissa, okay? So she has a conversation with Lady Mae has a conversation with Jacob, because Jacob, her, and Bishop were just arguing and going back and forth, and Bishop just didn't understand what Jacob's reasoning for even bringing this stuff up, going to Tara and having this conversation, just bringing up all this mess basically. So Jacob is explaining his case, but Lady Mae is very, very upset. Okay, she's very upset with Jacob, and she's like, "Why are you doing this?" And Jacob's like, "Well, Carissa is holding this over my head and all this other stuff." And so she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go talk to Carissa." And then she also made a comment too. She was like, "Where is she at? Up in that room that I paid for?" Okay, Lady Mae, you got a point. Sorry. But she goes up there and she talks to Carissa and basically checks her and like, "What is your problem?" And so Carissa is just like, "I had an affair, Lady Mae." And of course Lady Mae was like, "What?" And all this other stuff. And she was like, "I only used the will over Jacob's head to get him to relent on the divorce, because I really don't want a divorce. I really still want to be married to Jacob." And so, Lady Mae is just like, basically she kind of gets on Carissa's side. I think that softens up her heart a little bit, because y'all remember Lady Mae slept with Aaron's dad, and that's how Aaron came about, okay? And Bishop accepted Aaron, so here we are, okay? So that's her son. So Carissa is like, "I really want to be with him." And Lady Mae is just like, okay, like, I'll just talk to Jacob and I'll get him to forgive, because Carissa starts spilling tea. Carissa starts telling her it was this lady, it was this one, it was this girl, and the maid daughter and all sort of stuff. And Lady Mae was like, "Wait a minute, huh? Like the maid?" And she was like, "Yeah, in the laundry room." And Lady Mae was just appalled and disgusted, okay? And so she's down there, she leave or whatever the case may be. But then she has a conversation with Jacob. And y'all, let me tell y'all something. I know I'm skipping around, but I got to get to this. This was probably one of the realest things that Lady Mae ever said. She told Jacob that he needed to forgive Carissa, especially after all the dirt he's done and all the heartache and pain he's caused. He needs to forgive. And what she said was so real, because this is what she said, y'all. She was like, "How you view women is how you view me." Hallelujah. Okay. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lady Mae. Thank you. And Jacob was like, "But you would never do something like that, Mom." First of all, you don't know what your mom would do, number one. And she did do it, number two. And number three, it don't matter. You're not dating your mama. Okay? She's just trying to tell you that how you view women is a reflection of how you view her. So you need to forgive. You know what I'm saying? And it was just ridiculous, y'all. But I'll get back to that. So Bishop goes to Tara's church and he talks to her. And, he's just trying to basically get to the bottom of it. And Tara's just like, "Oh my gosh, this is the second day in a row a Greenleaf has come over here." And, they just start talking. And he basically tells her, like, "Listen, I did not make the call. May's brother made the call. I did not make it. I did not tell Daryl James, your dad, to come down there so I can kill him. It's nothing like that." He was like, "I just want to make everything right." He tells her about the will, because, see, Bishop was accusing Jacob of telling her about the will, but Jacob was like, "I never mentioned the will." So Bishop ended up telling her about the will and about the property and the deed and all this other stuff. And, by the end of the conversation, when he goes back and tells Lady Mae, he basically tells her he feels really, really good about it. Like, I feel good about it. I feel like we're turning over a new leaf. I don't feel like, it's gonna be a problem. Me and Tara, we cried together. We had conversations. Like, we really got, deep down and through there. And I mean, they didn't show all of that, but it seemed like she was really believing Bishop. So we'll see. So after, the episode I told y'all, last episode ended with Grace talking to AJ. So they're talking to in this episode, they're talking to the nurse. And, I told you, I don't really care for that nurse. She's kind of rude to me, if you ask me. But, they're just discussing AJ's options and what's best for him. And so they pretty much ask AJ, where do you want to go? And AJ gonna swing out, talk about, I want to go home with him. And looks at Noah, which is weird. Like, I don't understand out of all people why he would go with Noah, but I guess maybe he's just trying to give him a try, I guess. I'm not really sure, but whatever. Nevertheless, they do it. And so they go back to Bishop and May's house, and AJ is walking up to go up to the stairs, and I guess to get his things. And so Grace leans into Noah, and she's just like, please make sure he goes to see a doctor. And so AJ turns around and was like, and this is exactly why I didn't want to tell you, like, just shut up about it. First of all, AJ, who are you talking to? Let's be clear. Yes, Grace, gave you away or whatever the case may be and didn't tell nobody. Okay, and she was wrong and she would have to pay for that. But at the end of the day, they want to help you. Regardless if you think so or not, regardless if you believe so or not, they actually want to help you. So excuse the hell out of Grace for, telling your dad, aka Noah, to make sure that you go to the doctor, because clearly you try to give up on yourself. And that's no shade to the attempted suicide, but it's like, clearly you don't feel that you are deserving of things. Clearly you don't feel that you deserve to have a life and be alive and be here on earth. So she is looking out for you and wants the best for you. I don't understand what's so wrong with that. I get that you're not used to that. I get that you're not used to love and you deal with heavy abandonment issues and things of that nature. We get that, but that doesn't mean disrespect her either. Especially, well, I can't say in her house, but in the house that she resides. Because it was her who found your tail, okay? Now, she may have done wrong, but she also kind of saved your life in the same token. So cut Grace some slack and show her some respect. Like, please put some respect on her name, because you finna get on my nerves, AJ. For real, for real. So, you guys know that last episode, Phil told Charity that he wanted her to be in charge of the musical situation, music that's going on for their last Sunday in the church. So this episode, they're discussing it in the conference room, and Judy is just like, giving her ideas of what she think. And so Charity is like, no, I think that we should do this specific song, and we should go, over the past and give people like basically a chance to relive the past, like the glory moments, so that way they can put it to rest and move forward. Judy Smartail is like, no, we're not doing that song that way. Because see, Charity wants to do the gospel version of a song. I forget what song it is, but she wants to do the gospel version, with some soul into it. And Judy is talking about, no, that's a good hymn. We'll do the hymn. And I hope I'm saying that word right. Sorry, y'all. But hymn, and we're going to do without the past. We don't want to bring up the past, because in the past, it was the FBI agents coming to, the church and casing the place. It was all the scandals. It was this and it was that. Just really just throwing it in Charity's face. And Charity's just like, okay, whatever. She doesn't really want to do it. So she asked Connie, she sees Connie in the hallway, and she asked Connie, how do you feel about that? And Connie was like, basically, no. So then Connie, I'm sorry, y'all, but she really give me Uncle Tom vibes. She really, really do. And it just really annoys me. It really, really does. Like, you just be so quick to turn on your own people, and it just does not make any sense to me. You were so quick to turn on Bishop. I'll be glad when they throw your tail away, and you better not come running. When Calvary goes down in flames, don't come to Eternal Faith Fellowship asking for help, because you won't be on the deacon board over there. I pray they don't give you a chance. The most you can do is be an audience member, and I really hope they pay you dust just like that. But anyways, I'm sorry, I digress. So anyways, Connie decides, I almost call her Scotty. Connie decides she wants to go and tell Judy and Phil, like, basically, Charity tried to mom and pop me. You guys told her no, and she came back and asked me, thinking I was gonna say yes. And so Judy comes storming in Charity's office and was like, did you go talk to Connie? And Charity is like, yeah, I did. And she was like, we can't have you trying to go back on our word and go back to what we say. So since you want to go behind our backs, you're fired. And so Charity basically tells her, you can't fire me. And she was like, oh, yes, I can. Did you not know that Bob Whitmore is my dad? I can do what I want and all this other stuff. So then Charity decides she wants to go to Phil, and she was like, she can't fire me. And he was like, of course, bucking for Judy. And so she was like, you know what? I won't deal with this. I quit. So she quit in lieu of getting fired. Okay, so remember that earlier, when I told y'all about the conversation that Lady Mae had with Carissa, and then she turned around and had a conversation with Jacob, right? So it's time for Jacob and Carissa to have a conversation. So Jacob walks in there looking like a sad puppy, and Carissa is doing something, folding some clothes or something on the bed. And so she's like, Jacob, giving him a rundown, telling him exactly what he has to say. Jacob, all you have to say is, I'm sorry. Sorry, Carissa, for not loving you. Sorry for, making you not feel anything. Sorry for making you feel that you have to go, and these are her words, defile yourself in order to feel something. And this is the thing, right? Carissa, we feel you. We really do. But the thing about it is, Carissa, you feel stuff. Like, I feel like both of y'all have some growing up to do. And that's just honestly my opinion. Like, Carissa, you were definitely feeling something. Because you know what? You feel something when you involved in everybody else's business. I'm sorry, y'all. You feel something when you're involved in everybody else's business. You always got an opinion. You always judging. You always dipping in other people's business. We're going to get to that in a second. You're always dipping and dabbling. So at the end of the day, you may not feel whatever, but you feel something, especially when it comes to other people. And let's not sit here and play. Like I said before, Carissa, you chose to forgive Jacob. You didn't have to. Did nobody put a gun in your head? You chose to do that. Just like you chose to go be with oh boy. That was a choice. So it's like, I get what she was saying, but at the same time, don't make it about Jacob either. Like, own up to what you did. If you defiled yourself, it's because you chose to defile yourself. Nobody took advantage of you. You did that. So instead of telling Jacob, to say sorry for that, no, what Jacob should be saying is, Carissa, I apologize for hurting you time and time again. I apologize for putting you second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. I apologize for cheating on you numerous times, and you continuously took me back. So you know what? Just like I need to forgive you, please forgive me, and let's work on healing together and healing individually. That I can get with. But to sit there and be like, blame it on him, I just didn't understand that. And Jacob couldn't forgive her. I guess he just couldn't bring himself, even though he told Lady Mae he would forgive her and acknowledge what Lady Mae was saying. I think he just still couldn't bring himself to say it, because he knew he really wouldn't believe it, I guess, or feel it. So, he didn't say anything, of course. And so then Carissa is just like, you just can't do it. And, finally your mother is on my side, and she sees that I am right, and we're done. First of all, y'all were already done. See what I'm saying, Carissa? It's like you just always got to one-up somebody or, like, have the last say. Y'all were already done because he asked for a divorce. You the one who want to still be together. So, and I'm going to get on Jacob here because, I got on Carissa, but we're going to get on Jacob. Jacob, the simple fact that you can't forgive her, I feel like this is just perpetrating the same, behaviors that we deal with in this society, where men can cheat, la, 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 fa, la, 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 okay? And then when your wife or your girlfriend do the same thing that you do to her, to you, you don't know how to handle it, you know how to take it, and all of a sudden you can't forgive. Which is not the God thing to do. And you out here talking about you pastor, you pastoring and, telling Tara this is your ministry and all this other stuff. No, it's not your ministry. You are not in the business of forgiving. You are not. So stop it, okay? I'm done with them. Y'all just need to go ahead and get a divorce and keep it pushing, okay? Thank you. I'm tired of hearing about it. So then the episode ends where, it was originally, if I'm not mistaken, Lady Mae and Bishop in the at the table, and they were talking and stuff like that. And then slowly but surely people start trickling in. Charity comes in, and she's all happy and glorious, and she's like, yes, I quit and all this other stuff, and I'm done with that, blah blah blah. And I can't wait to see what Corinne has as far as the music, because I hate to sing alone. But I was like, she made a comment to Lady May saying that singing was never her passion, I guess. But it's like, so why are you saying now that you don't want to sing along? I thought you wanted to be AP. Like, Charity, please make up your mind. Do you want to pastor or you want to sing? I mean, maybe she gonna do both. Who knows? So she comes in all happy and just joyous. And Grace comes in, and they ask her about AJ, and she tells them that he's with Noah. And Sophia comes in as Laura, and Sophia's like, I just wish AJ was here. And Grace just reassures her and tell her, like, he good, like he with Noah, and that's the best. That's the best thing. And so next thing you know, they're getting ready to sit down, and Jacob and Carissa are there, and Bishop gets a phone call. As he's talking, his phone rings, and he answers. And as he's talking, Carissa, this is what I was talking about, Carissa being nosy and not minding her own business, she said, what is this about? Who is that? And May is like, you need to mind your business. And she had to tell her like twice, like, Carissa, just shut up. Like, you always be so involved in other people's stuff. This is what I'm talking about. Forget we. This is what I'm talking about. Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. It's like you're almost fueled by the simple fact that you get to hear other people's tea or other people's business. Like, just shut up. Like, worry about the simple fact that you about to go through a divorce. Who cares who Bishop is talking to? It is none of your concern. His wife is the only one who should be clocking who he on the phone with. Okay? Not you. So just be quiet. Girl, she get on my nerves. So anyway, Bishop hop off the phone. And he tell Lady May is like, come on, just be out with it. And so he's like, it was Tara, and she wants to talk about the house and the property. And everybody's just kind of like, oh, Lady May is just like, oh my God, because this is not what she wanted. And Bishop was just telling her he thought everything was going to be fine and everything was going to be okay. And turns out it might not, y'all. I hope Tara don't want that property, I hope they could just, break her off a little something or make her a deal. And that be that. But, child, we'll see. So, but episode 5 tomorrow, and I'm going to watch it and I'm going to review it. I promise you, I'm gonna put it out tomorrow. Pinky promise. All right, but that's it, you guys. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.